Google Classroom. Did you just Google my classroom? Okay, so why do I love Google Classroom so much? Obviously, it is my online living history of what I've done in my room from year to year. So instead of me just having all my links on my teacher website and it's just a big old hot mess, I have it organized day by day, and I know exactly what I did and what labs I did, what videos I used. And this is a great time saver from year to year. Another cool feature about Google Classroom is that my students have access to what we're doing in class if they're absent or if they're on vacation, and so do their parents. So they can see everything that we're doing. They can watch videos over again at home if they need to, if they're not understanding the content or if they want to study or if they just love the video. And they can email me if they want to, and that's just an amazing thing that Google Classroom does for us. Another cool feature is that there's a formative assessment tool called Create a Question, where you can pose a question and the kids respond, and then you can have dialogue back and forth with students that sometimes might not even want to answer in class, but they'll talk to you online. And I'll show you that later on in the next little video segment. And obviously, the coolest thing about Google Classroom is that I can reuse my posts from year to year. So all the hard work that I did creating my differentiation, all I have to do is repost that the next year, and I already have stuff done, and that's going to save me a lot of time in the end. So I hope you watch the video. I hope you learn lots of new information, and let's get started. Hey guys. Hi, it's Carolina. All right, so let's get our Google on. Let's learn about Google Classroom. So you're going to go ahead and start at this screen. You can just type in Google Classroom in the search engine. Click on Google Classroom, and you can see that I've been practicing a little bit in here. But let's go ahead and start off with a new class. So all you would need to do to start a new class is you click the little plus sign up in the top right-hand corner. Students would do the same thing with a code that you would give them from your class, so it's really easy for them to get into your Google Classroom. You don't have to go in and input every single kid's name. So I'm going to go ahead and create a class, but kids would actually join a class. Okay, so let's create a new class. I am not using this with students in a classroom at school. I am just using this to help teachers learn and understand how to use the program. Okay, so I'm going to hit continue, and I'm going to call this one Nerdy Teacher Tech Talks, or Talk. And you can fill in the section. I'm going to put first period. In the subject, we're learning about technology. Okay. So then I'm going to hit create, and it's going to make me a classroom. All right, and the first thing that I always love to do is I love to personalize each one of my class periods. So you can go ahead and select a theme by hitting select theme over there in the corner, and then you can change it to fit your personality, whatever you would like this class period to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and select my class theme for this class period. And what I normally do is I make one of these classrooms for each one of my class periods. So let's learn about some of the features that you have on Google Classroom and why I love this program so much. Okay, so here's your stream, and in your stream, this is where all of your things are going to post. And over here in the bottom right-hand corner, you have a plus sign, and you've got create announcements, you have create assignment, you have create a question, and you have reuse post. I use all of these buttons all the time in my classroom, so let me show you how to create an announcement. And I use to create an announcement more than I use any other tool in the program. So here's creating an announcement, and I'm going to go ahead and I want to use this as a warm-up. So down here at the bottom, this is a really cool tool. You can actually put all of the posts that you have into different categories based off of what you want to use in your classroom. You could have online games, you could have online labs, you could have differentiation as one of your topics. I'm going to go ahead and create a topic, and this is actually going to be a warm-up that my students would do at the beginning of the class period. This is just an example. There are all these little buttons down here that you could also push on if you wanted to add an attachment of something that you have stored on your computer, you could do it that way. If you have an attachment that you want to use from your Google Drive, you can add that. If you want to post a video of something that you want to show them, you can put that there. And then if you wanted to add a link, you can use it there. Right here, this is the link to a really cool website that I use with my kids when we're studying energy. You would typically want to put it down here, but what I found in the past is, I'm going to show you what it does. When you add this link, it puts it down here at the bottom, but then it becomes very difficult to copy and paste all of this if I wanted to add it, if there's like multiple ones down here at the bottom. So I find that it's just easier to leave it up there at the top and use it as a link, and then you would just post it to your classroom. If you don't like it, you can delete it. Let me show you what happens when I exit out of this, because if you're not ready to post it, like what I found is if I post my assignments early, like the night before, my kids will actually go in and start doing the assignment the night before. So I create my assignments like this, my announcement, and then what I do is it saves it up here at the top, which I absolutely love. And then when I come in the morning, I just post whatever the announcement or the assignment is. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to post. And then kids get an automatic email to their Gmail whenever you post something, so they know that there's something to do in class. Okay, so here goes my first warm-up, and you can see that that's how you use the create announcement part of Google Classroom. All right, so let's go ahead and learn about creating an assignment in Google Classroom. Oops, go up here and create an assignment in Google Classroom. So one of the assignments that I've typically given my kids in the past is my energy saving home. But you can do this for any content area. I'm just showing you how to attach an assignment. Okay, so you can put the instructions right here. I always put instructions on assignments that I'm going to have them do online. So you must describe 5 ways to save energy in your home. Turn this assignment in on Google Classroom. Oops. Okay, so you would assign a due date, and you can put a time if you want to. I don't typically put a time. I'm going to say that this is an online activity, and then you just simply go through and you attach the activity from my Google Drive, but you can do it from your documents that you have stored on the computer as well. And then you're going to go ahead and you have different options. You can have students can edit the file, students make a copy for each student. And then if you want to delete the activity, if you're not happy with it, you can. If you want to assign it to more than one class period, because that's what I typically do, you can do that up at the top. If you're not ready to post it, which I don't usually post it right then and there because my students, I love my students, but they'll go home and do everything the night before they come to class. So I typically, I post things in the morning so that they can have those important discussions that they need to with their classmates when they're doing the activity. Okay, so if I don't want to assign it right then and there, then I can actually save it up here as a draft, and then when I come in the morning, I can click on it again, and then I can hit assign. And then this is automatically going to send them an email to their Gmail, but they'll also see it on the feed when they come in the class. And you can see that I have one student right here that is in my class, a fake student, that is going to need to turn in this assignment. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to this other computer and I'm going to pretend to be a kid and I'm going to turn it in so that you can see what it does to the teacher screen. Okay, so they're going to actually see a screen that is going to have them turn it in. Whenever they get to it, they'll go to add actually. They'll go to whatever the assignment is that they want to turn in, where they've made the additions to the template that you sent them. And then they'll actually hit turn in. And then it's saying, do you really want to turn it in? And they're going to say turn in again. Okay, and then You just give it a second, and then on my teacher screen, you're going to actually see that the done turns to 1, and that's a student's assignment. So the really cool thing about this is that I have, when you have 28 kids, all of their assignments pop up on one page, and I don't have to go look for them. Like if they were going to turn them into me on Gmail, that would be a pain where I would have to go and I would have to scroll through all of my emails because it sends it to your email, but it also can put it in your drive. I just love this feature where everything is on one page, and I can actually go in and assign a grade as well on here so that they know what grade they made on the activity. Okay, so that is your wonderful Create Assignment tool that you have in Google Classroom. Then another feature that they have is Create a Question. So I love to use Create a Question for warm-ups. So since we're studying energy, and we've been talking about ways to conserve energy in a home, you could ask them, what is one way to conserve energy in your home? What is one way to conserve energy in your home? I'm going to put that the due date is tomorrow. I'm going to put that this is a warm-up. You can have them do a multiple choice answer, but right now I just want them to do short answer because we've been talking about this and discussing this in class, so I want to see what they say. Students can reply to each other. You can put that on. Students can edit their answer. You can put that on as well. And then what's going to happen is you ask the question, and then you can see that this student has not replied yet. So then I'm going to pretend to be my student again over here. And I'm responding so that you can see it on the screen, what happens on the teacher screen. And you have to give it a second to update. But I love the fact that this is so fast and that the information comes from one computer to another. And then you just have all this feedback of what your kids really actually know. Okay, so that you can see that my fake student has completed this, and then I can actually go in and I can say, oh, okay, and I can actually have a one-on-one conversation with the student. So I can give the student a grade if I want to, but I really want to give them feedback. And I have a lot of shy students, and this is one really good way for me to communicate with them, and they're much more likely to tell me things, or I can actually find out that they really know the content because they never want to talk in class. So I can say that is a great answer, and we can have a communication with one another, a conversation, and they're really not having to talk out loud, and this is just awesome. So I mean, just being able to give that one-on-one feedback to each one of the students, and this does not take a long time. They could be starting on a different activity and you could just be giving them feedback right away, and this holds them accountable for the content that we're covering in class. So I really love this feature. Okay, so the last feature I wanted to show you about is the reuse the post. I love this because I've already done Google Classroom for a full year. Well, actually now I did it for a half a year, 1 year, and then I did it for a full year this year. So I have tons and tons of posts that I've already made. So what you could do is you can go to different class periods where you have different information stored, and you can actually attach those posts so you don't have to type all this information or find those links again. So I'm going to click on this link, which is a game that I have my kids play. I'm going to hit reuse. And then it pops up just like it did before. So if you're not ready to post it, you don't have to at that point. You could just save it. So you can see that I have it as a draft if I don't want to post it the night before and have all my kids do it. Or if I wanted to, I could do it that way. If I wanted to give them a homework assignment, I could. But I want them to do it the next day, so I've got it posted right here. If I wanted to add other classes, I could also do that as well. And then I'm just going to hit post. And there's reusing an assignment and how easy that can be. So I hope you really love Google Classroom. It is not difficult to use at all. You just have to get in there and start playing around with it. Watch my video over and over again if you need to figure out how to do it. And please post comments underneath the video if you have any questions that I can help you out with. But I really hope you use this tool because it's really helped me out a lot in my classroom. And I hope to see you next time on Nerdy Teacher Tech Talk. Okay, bye-bye.